My name's Nyesha McCauley, and you're watching AccessTV.org.
Hello. Today I'd like to come to you today introducing myself first of all. My name is Bishop Patrice Smith, and I'm one of the candidates for mayor. And I'd like to come in with a few questions that's going to be asked to me about what can I do to improve my community. I really would like to improve my community. I really would like to make a difference in my community, be a strong figure in my community as a leader, change some things, have a vision for Hartford. I really want a vision for Hartford. I want Hartford to go from the poverty that it's been in and the poor that it's been in and the violence that it's been into, to go back up to where it used to be into. Hartford is a rich city. Hartford had a lot of things that were going on for it at one time. It had a lot of businesses going on for it. I mean, you can go downtown and you could shop. I mean, it was peaceful. People were honest. It was so much love in our communities. I mean, it took a village to raise a child in that days, and everything was just pleasant. So I have some people here today from the community who is going to ask me questions about how we can improve our community and what things would you want me to do as a community leader and a mayoral candidate to improve the city of Hartford. Thank you.
Every candidate for mayor is talking about doing something to decrease the crime. How will you decrease the crime?
Well, no, crime has been one of my specialties for a very long time. I have a program called Saving Our Kids from the Streets. I'm the president and I'm the founder. I have walked these streets many a times at night to go out there and talk to our young people, be able to get them in programs, get them in trainings, help them to get jobs. We even started a basketball program so we could take our kids to different communities to play against other basketball teams so that our violence could cease in our city. I have worked with the police chiefs in our city. I have worked with the mayors in our city. I have worked with community leaders in our city. I have created jobs in our city. I have worked with the parents in our city. Matter of fact, I have a few parents now who want me to work on some very important issues with them in the juvenile justice system. So that's another thing that we're going to start working a lot with. The juvenile justice system is something that's very important, where our young people going in and out of incarceration. We have to work on that, and we have to do something to get this crime down. Curfews, the state police, whatever we need to come in to be involved. Our community policing has to be involved, but most of all, that's most important, is that our community has to come together as one and be involved and cease this crime, because that's the only way that this crime that's really going to increase, is we come together as a community and put a stop to this violence.
A lot of people are dissatisfied with the educational system in the schools. Do you have any plans to improve that?
Well, I think we have a lot of magnet schools. I feel bad that we don't have as many public schools as we used to have. But I think we need to go in more and be a part of our our school system. I think we need to go in and talk to our young people and see how we can really help our young people. We don't give our young people a voice. We need to give our young people a voice. And how do they feel about their education and their schooling, and how we can advise them, and what we can do to make our schools better, because Hartford has a very high dropout rate. So why do we have more kids that's walking the streets than we have more kids that's in school? What is the problem? What is wrong with our school systems? We need the Board of Education to come together. We need to pick, instead of picking people that's and council or mayors to be on the board, we need to have more parents on the board. We need to have more leaders on the board who we know that can really get into our school system. We need to have the PTO back into our school system. Like I said, the parents, the community, going into the school system, sitting down and having a meeting with the superintendent on how we can get involved and better our school system. We bus a lot of our kids out. We don't want to bus our kids out. We want to let them know that they're good in the city of Hartford too, that they can learn from these magnet schools, that they can learn from crack, that they can get education here just as well as getting education out. But there's something that we must do to step in to help our young people with their learning, to let them know it's important to get a high school education, to get a college education, to be able to go forth and do the things that they need to do.
Another question that we've been asked a lot in the community is for the unemployment rate. It's so hard to find a job. Is there anything you can do as mayor to help with that problem?
I like to go into the big companies. We have so many big companies that's in the city of Hartford. And we also have a lot of small businesses in the city of Hartford. How can we use y'all to help these businesses to train our young people in the city that they can work and they can have jobs? I mean, we have this thing with Councilwoman, where she has the WW job thing. I mean, there's so much lack of training for our young people. A lot of them have criminal records, so they don't want to apply for jobs. How can we help them that they can apply for jobs? How can we go out to big companies, like I said, and ask them, can they come in and help create more jobs in the city of Hartford? How can we get people to, if they don't live in the city of Hartford, that they give their jobs in the city of Hartford, and have people who live in the city of Hartford to get their jobs? I mean, what can we do as leaders? But me as mayor, want to be able to go into these companies and ask them, can they create jobs for our younger people, or they can create jobs, more jobs in our city? I mean, I talked to a couple outside businesses who would like to come back to Hartford, who would like to create jobs in the city of Hartford. And a lot of these buildings that we're not using, maybe put more industrial things back into the buildings to create jobs, but the training, the skills that they need for jobs. So what I would like to do is get down into these companies and really ask them, what can they do to really help us out, that we can create jobs back in our city, not just for the ballpark or Dillon Stadium. We want things that's going to work. We don't want things that are not going to work in our city and just sit there and the money is wasted. We want things in our city that's really going to work, that's really going to help our people to get jobs and to be working. Because once you got the jobs, that's when we have less crime, because people are too busy training or getting skills, and that would cease a lot of our crime and a lot of our problems in the city of Hartford. Well, I want to come to you as a lifelong citizen of the city of Hartford. I was born and raised in the city of Hartford. I've been in the city of Hartford for 55 years of my life. My main point as mayor in coming to you today, I'm a woman of God. I want honesty and truth, and not to make promises to you people that I cannot keep. I want justice back in my city. I want the violence to stop. I want us to come out of debt. I want taxes to be lower. I want to know how we as a community to get taxes lower. I mean, there's so many people coming to me and say that I'm hurting. The taxes are so high in Hartford. Why is Hartford so much in debt? What about the commuters that come out of town and using our same services that we have in Hartford, but pay no taxes? All of Hartford people have to pay taxes. We get taxed for everything, but other people who come into our town do not get taxed for these things. We are in debt with the state. How about the state of Connecticut helping Hartford? I mean, if anybody that's owed into debt to the city of Hartford, why don't you pay Hartford what you owe Hartford? I mean, Hartford has gone from one of the richest states again to a poverty city. And it's so sad that our city, I mean, we have downtown Hartford, which is filled with schools. Either if it's not schools, we have it as apartment buildings. Where is the thing that we can have it back as malls, like a mall, where we can have stores back in the downtown Hartford, where people can come back into downtown Hartford and where they can shop and feel comfortable and feel safe. You know, I don't hear many people talking about public safety. Public safety is so important. Our police department, we don't need more police officers, but we need more police officers to come to the street. We need more community policing to come to the street. There used to be police officers who used to come to the street, who talked to the people, who had time to spend with the people. I mean, a cup of coffee or something to talk to the community. We need more police officers who used to come back to the community, come into the community and talk to the people and see if the police officers and the community can work together. Just like the mayor. We don't need a mayor that's going to continuously sit inside a building. I mean, we need the mayor to put his 2 cents in things too. You know, besides the council giving him a paper and say, okay, this is what we want or this is what we don't want. What about the mayor? I mean, we need to come out to the streets. The mayors need to be one who need to be seen in the streets and what he or she can do for their community. Open up a town hall, open up the city of Hartford and say, I can meet with my community 2 or 3 times a week on my own, that you can come in and ask me questions that you need to ask me. Or I can sit down and have dinner with you or lunch with you and find out what the concerns is really that's going on in our city. And that's one thing that I want to do. I want to be able to, the new leadership that come into the city, that we can sit down and we could talk about how we can better our city, how we can better the city of Hartford. Because the city of Hartford, there is betterment for the city of Hartford. Our economic situation, our financial situation, us being in debt. I mean, the Dillon Stadium project, I mean, $2 million or $1 million that went into that money could have went into something else. We need to investigate people that we put the money into. We can put some of this money into small businesses that really want to come to Hartford and make a difference. There are so many small businesses in Hartford who I've been around talking to the owners who cannot make it they have no funding, they have no help, they have nowhere to go to get help. These people really want to hire people in the city of Hartford, but they don't have enough funding to help these people. They're taking money out of their own pockets and they're training people, and that's sad that they have to do that. We should be able to have some kind of system, management system in the city of Hartford to be able to help people who are struggling and that really want to get up and make a difference in Hartford. We need to take from the top. You know, it's a lot of times that it's a good thing that you cut the head off from the top. We need to take the head and cut it off from the top so these things will keep growing back in our city, because we have got leadership in our city that has been poor leadership. We need to get some good leadership that's in our city. First of all, we need to take, if it's not going to work for us, then we need to clean it out. We just need to clean it out. I mean, City Hall need to just have a good spring cleaning. I mean, people who are not concerned about what's going to go on in our city to help rebuild our city, to help financially back our city to help our city to grow, who don't see the vision. There is a vision for the city of Hartford. The city of Hartford can come back being rich like it was. People can be rich. It can be fulfillment again. It can be families again. It can be sound structure, like it used to be. It used to be so sounded and so I can't find the words that I really want to say, but it used to be so together. I mean, we as a people had a voice for each other. We cared about each other. I walked down Albany Avenue the other day, and it was so hurting to me that the substations, they're getting ready to put a substation on the corner of Coventry and I think that's Holcomb over there. But what about the substations that need to be in the city of Hartford? What about the substations that need to be on Albany Avenue? What about the substations that need to be in our community? What about building our South End? We need to build our South End as well as building our North End. I know a lot of people say, well, the South End is built. The South End is not built because we have a South End and we have a West End too. But we have a North End that really need to be built up. And I think once we start building up these places and becoming a community, it doesn't matter if you're white, black, or Hispanic, or who you are. We need to come together as a people. This is really important, people. We don't have much time. We only have to November 3rd is our election day. And I want people not only of color, but women. There are some strong women that's running for council. I'm the only woman that's running for mayor. But women are great leaders. I mean, women have been leaders for a long time. I mean, women go back to being leaders from way back. I mean, it's important that people look out for women leaders. I mean, women have raised babies. Women have been through a lot of things. They have been back and forth to the jails with their children. That's another thing. We want to really talk about the incarceration thing. What we're going to do for people who have been incarcerated, that's coming back out of jail, that's coming back into our city. I mean, we have to make sure that we're prepared for this because a lot of people are getting released in the next year or so from federal prisons and from prisons. So what do we do about housing these people? Where do we put these people? I mean, we have to have somewhere safe to put these people because we have to make sure that the community feels that they're safe. But we need to also give these people a chance because they need a chance to come back out here into society to show that they can do better. But then again, still, like we said, we have to keep our community safe because the violence. We're having a lot of violence that's going on. We had another couple of shootings the other day. We have to make sure that people are safe in our city. We have to care for our elderly who don't have transportation, who can't get around. I mean, the Medicare system, I mean, paying for their prescriptions. I mean, we got to help out our elderly too. We have to make sure that they can get around. We have to make sure that things in the city are fine for them. We can't go taxing them for everything that they can't pay for because they can't afford it. I mean, a lot of people, it's so sad they don't even want to come out of their houses anymore because at a certain time, people are scared to walk the city of Hartford, the streets. This is so sad that people don't want to come out anymore. But listen, as your mayor, and these are some fine points, as your mayor, I want to make this city safe. I want to make us financially situated again. I want to bring us out of debt. I can't make you no promises because I don't want to make promises that I can't keep. But I can create jobs in this city. I can cease this violence. I can make a difference in this city. I can do better things in our city. I can help people in this city. Like I said again, I can make a difference. I have made a difference. I have walked these streets for a long time. I have talked to so many community leaders, even our churches. Our churches need to come out as a community because the church is a community to help people that's in our churches. I was down at Bushnell Park the other day, and I need to make this point. I was down at Bushnell Park the other day speaking with this gentleman, Joe. It was so many people down there Wednesday who are poor and poverty. They have nowhere to stay. And it really hurt me that nobody has went down there and talked to these people on how we can better our shelters in the city. What can we do for the homeless people in our city? How can we get people off the streets? I mean, how can we make a difference? Yes, economically and developmentally and equality and social ills and all these things are important, yes, in our city. And we need these things. But we really, really need to start looking at all the other things that's going on in our city. People are really hurting in the city of Hartford. So we want to help everybody that we can. We want to be as one people. We don't want to be divided, because divided we stand. United we stand, divided we're going to fall. So we don't want to fall. We want to do something sound and something creative and something meaningful in our city. And as your mayor, I am going to do these things. I have learned from Carrie Perry, I have learned from Milner, I have learned from other leaders in the city who can teach me things too. I'm not saying that I'm coming in there with a whole bunch of knowledge. I'm not knowledgeable of a lot of this stuff. But I have been in the city of Hartford and I have learned. I've worked in City Hall when I was a young girl. I mean, we have created jobs when we were younger, and that's one thing we want to create, again, jobs for our community. We want to talk about the embedment for our community, and we want to know how, and we need the community input on how we can do it. And as your mayor, I'm going to do everything that I can do to help to embed our crime, our jobs, our financial situation. That anybody that comes in here who want to come in here and put something in Hartford, we need to make sure that we check their background out just like we would do anybody else. Check their background out. Make sure that they are a good candidate and a good person for the city of Hartford to come in here, because we don't want anybody else to come in here and ruin our city. We want our city to improve. And without a vision, that is so important, without a vision, this city is going to perish. We have to trust in God as well as ourselves, or we are not going to survive. We're just not going to survive. As a people in this city is not going to survive. I see so many things that's going up now, and I see Bushnell Park that's going up now. I see so much improvement downtown Hartford. We need to improve everywhere in the city. You can't have one side of the city looking all good where everybody have to come downtown and then the rest of the city look bad. We need to have the whole city looking good, because you know something? When people come into Hartford, they don't only look at downtown. They look at the whole city of Hartford. They want to know what the good parts of the city of Hartford is, and they also want to know what the bad parts of the city of Hartford is. And we are the people have to tell them the truth. It is in us to tell them the truth, what is going on in our city. But as of right now, with the news and the media, and they looking at the city of Hartford, and they looking at the city of Hartford like, oh wow, the city of Hartford is just crime inflicted. But it's not like that. The city of Hartford is a beautiful place to live, and we can make it a beautiful place to live. So let's, as one, not this one fighting against this one or this one fighting against that one, let's make it a beautiful place to live once again like it once was. And I want to thank you, because as your mayor, and even getting this chance, I want to let the young men and women know that it doesn't matter who you are or what you are or where you came from, that you can be a leader in this city. You can run for mayor. A lot of people tell me, oh, well, I looked up to you and I seen that you ran for mayor, I can run for mayor. Yes, you can run for mayor. You can run for president. You can be anything or anybody that you want to be. Just don't give up. Just don't give up. And we don't need to give up on our city. I mean, and another thing I just want to make sure that I mention, you know, although I mule rate is high, and we are in debt, and there's so much money that's out there that's haven't been used right. But we need to give Hartford a chance. And as your mayor, I want to give Hartford a chance. And I hope you want to give Hartford a chance too. And I hope that you want to put your best foot forth the way I want to put my best foot forth. I'm compassionate. My compassion is for my city. It's for the people in my city. It is for my community. And I'm asking, please, as the city of Hartford, let's put all that we can put back into our city. Let's become as one again. Let's fix the high taxes. Let's fix the jobs. Let's fix the crime. Let's fix our educational system. Let's help our children. Let's do what we can do to be a community again, that we can have leadership in our community again, that we can stop being at each other. My name is Bishop Patrice Smith, and I am a candidate for mayor. And again, like I said, I was born and raised in the city of Hartford. And I'm here to do everything that I can to help better my city and help better the people in my city. I want an improvement in my city. I want a movement. I want an improvement. I want a vision. I just want us to come together and make Hartford a better place to live in. And I thank you all for your time. And I hope it's something that I hit on or something that I said, that you'll know that I'm sincere about my city, that I'm sincere about the people in my city, that I really want to help this city. I want to do the best that I can, because we need a vision for our city, first of all, so we don't perish. And don't trust in the men or the women that's running. Trust in God. Put your faith in God and ask God who is your best candidate and who is going to do what's right and who is not just going to come out at election time and say, okay, well, I want you to vote for me, but who's there all the time. That's when, in the good and the bad, that they're going to always be in the city, that they're not going to run and leave the city or run and leave the people, that they are going to always be there and continue to be there. So that's my vision for Hartford. And I thank you for listening, and I thank you for taking out time out of your day for me. And God bless you. And let's work together as a community. Let's work together as a people. And let's do something to better the city of Hartford. Thank you.